If I can. All right, dear devotees. So we are on Facebook. I'm just going to turn on Facebook. Back, BACK. There we are, back to basics. Oh, doesn't say we're live yet. Oh, by the way, while I remember Leela Moy Prabhu on Facebook, you have a message about new timings for the Instagram and Facebook thing. Did you put that message there?
Yes, I did.
But that now it just needs to be a regular announcement. It just says something like it's new, but it's new from October or something time. So just look at
Oh,
that.
okay, I'll check. I'll check.
Needs a revision. All right. So anyhow, dear devotees, we're coming together, and we've got Ganga, Leela, Devidasi, and Angel with us also, and Sevarupa and Devidasi Parananpu and Leela Moy. We've been chatting for a short while. But we're here to serve, we're here to share, we're on Facebook, we're in the recorded version. So let us begin with obeisances to our gurus, the Guru Parampara Mahaprabhu Nityananda, and to Radha Krishna and their associates. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitan Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahavaranyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne goratvije namaha. Hare Krishna. And 3 chats in the chat box just now coming, and Gangalila sending dandavats. That's 2 chats. Anyway, Hare Krishna. So, Gaurupanima has happened. The festival for Jagannath Mishra has happened. And today, in our today part of the world, which is the 8th, I think, yes, 8th of March, it's the day, not by the calendar, not by the solar calendar, but by the lunar calendar. It's the day of the festival traditionally in Hapaniya. Hapaniya is the birthplace of Srila Guru Maharaj, his appearance place. And until today, it is a very sweet, unspoiled corner of rural India, rural Bengal, actually of Rara Desh, the area of land where Mahaprabhu roamed extensively after receiving sannyas in Katwa. It's an auspicious land, auspicious area, and that village was known for its high-class Brahmanas, and that doesn't mean externally, birth Brahman exactly like this, but actually high-class qualified Brahmana persons whose family spoke at home Sanskrit. This kind of really upper level intelligence, brilliant, clean, clear personalities. And Hapaniya was famous for that. And the particular Bhattacharya section that Guru Maharaj's family came from, Gurudev said, world famous, but means India famous for their qualities of Brahmanism, but their qualities of very high learning and expert in Sanskrit and all these things. And so Guru Maharaj, coming in that family, in that village, made his appearance in this world. And today is the day, anniversary-wise, of the installation of the deities there too, of Guru, Gauranga, Radha, Gopinath. And we received actually recently, very recently, a couple of weeks ago or so, some pictures from Chintamani and Onindita, Russian Onindita, who's staying in Mayapur at the moment. And they took some very good, very beautiful pictures showing that the temple established by Gurudev for Shishi Guru Gauranga Radha Gopinath is being nicely looked after. It's been repainted and looking very presentable from the photographs that we saw. So today, our minds, as it were, going to Hapaniya, and in remembrance of Guru Maharaj and in remembrance of Gurudev, because this was a particular soft spot in the heart of Gurudev, the Hapaniya temple. And Guru Maharaj actually said, "This is your temple," means it's to Gurudev. He said, "Not my temple, it's your temple." Because Guru Maharaj is not going to establish a temple in his own birthplace. Guru Maharaj is not going to promote such a thing, but the disciple, Gurudev, he is doing just that. So anyway, some remembrance of Hapaniya and how Hapaniya, like so many places, has developed, not the village so much. The village, every time I've been there, has been quite similar. Maybe some bigger loudspeakers during festival times, but apart from that, quite similar to the first times that we went there, except, of course, our ashram, it has grown a little bit, and grown also with some property, and one property is Shanti Sarovar, a heavenly Sarovar, Kund, lake, small lake, a heavenly small lake, surrounded by palm trees, surrounded by other trees, and then on the other side there's the lake, the trees, and then there's land for cultivation, so that Gopinath will also be steadily served. So the ashram started very small, and then we've now got that land, and there is other land, rice fields, which are not exactly adjacent, but just nearby there are rice fields, and from those rice fields comes more than enough rice for the ashram, but that rice comes to Navadip for Chaitanya Saraswat Math also. And actually a building that Gurudev purchased as a ladies' ashram, ladies' building. So when the pilgrims come to Hapaniya, there'll be a place where the ladies can be without having to be conscious that there may be men around. It had its own courtyard, etc. But it became not the building became the Goshala, but the land with it became the Goshala for the cows, because actually it was very rarely used for ladies because they didn't stay overnight. In fact, very few Western devotees have stayed overnight in Hapaniya. A few, and yours truly included. I mean, a few of us, but it's so close to Navadip that devotees will go for the day, they'll do decorations in the day, they'll do all these things, come back to Navadip, Chaitanya Saraswat Math, and then day by day would go. And anyhow, Gurudev purchased a lady's house, which is downstairs, ground floor, which is now the cow area, then one floor upstairs and another floor upstairs. And so anyway, some parts of the world call that a 3-story building, and some call it a 2-story building. Is that right? I'm not sure. Anyhow, that building came, and also in the temple compound, Gurudev constructed a prasadam hall with accommodation for brahmacharis, sannyasis downstairs on the bottom, and upstairs was a prasadam hall that's completely open. And then the roof, it's a flat roof. And during festival times, would put a pandal on the roof. Pandal means with the canvas and bamboo, or bamboo and canvas. But that was quite insufficient for the size of the festivals that came. It means that every year, as in many temples, the number of pilgrims, the number of devotees would increase. And so the nearby fields served well as an open area for serving prasadam with devotees seated. Anyway, this is some remembrance, but the main point, this is the external side of the ashram, if you like. But the main point is the opportunity to remember Guru Maharaj, to glorify Guru Maharaj, and to keep alive, keep in the present the teachings, the example, not the word is sincerity, the intensity that Guru Maharaj wanted good for everyone and wanted to protect the devotees and nourish the devotees. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his Guru Maharaj and the Guru Maharaj of Srila Prabhupada, then Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave him the title Bhakti Raksak, Sridhar Dev-Goswami Maharaj or Sridhar Maharaj. And Bhakti Raksak means the protector of devotion. And so very much we have been under his protection when, at all times we've been under his protection, but we came to his protection when there seemed to be no reliable shelter at the beginning of the 1980s when things were going a little off. And it's Guru Maharaj who brought the devotional world in the West back to the track, closer to the track, and gave the direction of how to come back on the track. And it's Guru Maharaj who, throughout the many years since Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur disappeared, maintained that quality and purity of the message of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So the Hapaniya festival, above all, it is a festival in not only remembrance, but keeping at the forefront of everyone's mind the glory of Srila Guru Maharaj, his teachings and his connection, his existence in the upper world, the connection that he can distribute to others. So today is that Hapaniya festival. And in Hapaniya, they also have this sort of small swimming pool size arrangement for the cooking of dal, of rice. The main big quantities, dal, rice, and sabji are the three main large quantity items. And then the sweet rice, maybe not so large, but still considerable quantity. In Hapaniya, built into the kitchen area, knowing that this will be needed, is that kind of two small. They're not really so big like swimming pools, but anyway, in Bamonpara is big, almost like a swimming pool, and Bamonpara came later. The temple came later, several years later. And by that time, it was clear, the numbers of people who attend. And so the small swimming pool, as it were, in Hapaniya, when Bamanpara was constructed, then there was quite a lot bigger swimming pool too there in Bamanpara for storing what's being cooked from 3:30 in the morning, even maybe before, maybe 3 o'clock, the cooks start cooking. And they're making all these batches. They can only cook so much, even though they have those giant pots. But they make the dal, boil the dal, it goes into the trough like that. And so I think everybody who's been to Hapaniya at festival times can remember most of all, more than the Hari Katha, the Hari Prasadam and the distribution of Prasad. And why they remember more than the Harikatha, because acoustically and size-wise, it's a small area with lots of noise of all ages of people, from the very young to, yes, the very old. And in Bengal, affectionate, the more affectionate somebody is to talk with somebody else, the louder they make their speaking known. So we hear a lot of affectionate conversations between the Bengalis. And in that temple, it is, we don't want to say impossible, it's practically impossible to keep the sound below, very high decibels for more than about maybe 10 seconds. And so the Harikatha, even of Gurudev also, giving Harikatha, and it feels, oh no, why can't everyone be quiet? Here's Gurudev giving valuable things, and so much is going on around. But Gurudev aloof to all of this, and he's talking, and the devotees, with their great attention and listening to what he's saying. But soon enough, then the Bhoga Arti will happen, and then the noon Arti will happen, and then Prasadam distribution. And I think this is one of the forefront of the mind memories of devotees going to Hapaniya, is in the fields, in the temple, practically everywhere. And the roof, the Prasadam hall, completely full, the roof full, the fields nearby full, just mass prasad distribution in a very energetic environment. And Gurudev was happy with mass prasad distribution in an energetic environment. Definitely. And the Hapaniya was Gurudev's soft spot temple. Anything to do with Hapaniya, Gurudev, very happy to attend. Sevarupa Devadas is put in the chat box, a day at Hapaniya. Hare Krishna. Yes.
So Maharaj, there is an insert, but when I try and copy and paste, it changes then the pronunciation of this, but it's just this part of it where Srila Gurudev, that is saying that there's when he first came, and then Guru Maharaj wanted to inject in our hearts that feeling that we had come to the holy abode. So I'm just going to try and paste that section, but it's from this article that's posted on the website today.
Okay, well, that's a PDF file, so you could, I could, we could copy the link address. I'll put that link address in the chat box, and then devotees, when they click on it, they'll see. There you are. There is that article. And then Sevarup, you wrote, Guru Maharaj wanted to inject our hearts with the feeling that we had come to the holy abode.
It's from that article. Yeah, so I was trying to copy that section, but it's from this article. Yes.
And we could even emphasize in bold italics, underlined, the. Guru Maharaj wanted to inject our hearts with the feeling that we had come to the holy abode, like not just a general holy abode. And Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, Jajava Maharaj, and others, very respectable, pure devotees, they would go to Hapaniya, and they would consider it non-different from Varshana, the appearance place of Srimati Radharani. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Priyanana Devirasi, good morning. Govinda Govinda, Dandavat. Are you making garlands?
Dandavat Maharaj and all the devotees. Yes, I'm making garlands. Actually, how to say, I stealthily ran away from our second half of our morning arati because it's at the same time to be here online and like making garlands in other place other than usual. So just to listen a little bit.
Okay, well, happy to have you with us. And I know you have been to Hapaniya.
Oh, no, Maharaj. Neither to
No.
Hapaniya, nor to Bamanpar, nor to Navadvip. So just I can listen to your memories and that's have some impression.
Okay, well, somehow I feel that wherever the devotees have been, you have been, because you were the cameraman and reporter. But that side of India, those special places, they're waiting for your future pilgrimage when there is service. So we go to the holy places for service also. And Hapaniya is one of those places that Gurudev would go to for service. It was his temple, as Guru Maharaj said, and he would take care of everything there, and he would go regularly to Hapaniya. So we also got that opportunity to drive Gurudev and go with him regularly to Hapaniya, and very sweet environment. But I've been chatting away for some time. Paramananda Prabhu can express something, and Sevarupa has not been to Hapaniya. You went to Hapaniya? No, not yet. Paramananda Prabhu, would you like to share something?
Yes, Maharaj, we failed to take the devotees this time.
Because you were in Nabadi for the blink of an eye, so...
Still no excuse. But next year, we're going there. Just don't tell anybody, it's a secret.
You know, I told everybody last year, so it was not a secret, that I will not be traveling in 2006. But somehow or another, it hasn't worked out that way. We were trying to, yesterday itself, we were trying to fit something in the summer, but the summer is solidly booked. I don't know how it happens, but yes, I do not know about any further pilgrimages, to Navadvip, etc. Devotees are saying, oh, now it's going to be annual pilgrimage.
Maharaj knows nothing about it.
I know nothing about it, but we are happy that the devotees will come to the holiest of holy places. And as Sevarupa put in the chat box, that Guru Maharaj always wanted to imbibe in everybody, into their hearts, with the feeling that we had come to the holy abode. And that is what we are doing when we're coming on pilgrimage. We are going to these special places, and in intense remembrance of our masters, their gift, and renewed, all of us, we must renew always why we came to the mat, what we're doing, and keep our channel of consciousness and channel of activity clean, pure, and in the direction that we are being drawn, attracted by Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, and Srila Prabhupada.
Is Guru Maharaj particularly saying it about Hapaniya or in general about Navadvip?
No, Hapaniya, I'm pretty sure. And probably Sevarupa's got the exact words in front of her, but it's about Hapaniya.
Yeah. That is quite significant to know. Because like you said, he called this Govinda Maharaj's temple.
Mm.
I mean, obviously Guru Maharaj would never establish his own temple to pretty much commemorate and give some significance to his appearance place. That's not the nature of the sadhu, definitely not the nature of Guru Maharaj, but it came from the heart of Srila Govinda Maharaj, naturally, and like Maharaj just mentioned, his god brothers also confirm that, and that is very significant. I mean, they're calling it Varshana, the appearance place of Srimati Radharani, non-different. That means they are also seeing Guru Maharaj as the ultimate delegation of Srimati Radharani. They seeing their Guru manifested, embodied in Srila Guru Maharaj, means Srila Saraswati Thakur, and the whole of Guru Varga, which is quite special, we can say. I mean, it's not often happens, but it was quite obvious with Srila Guru Maharaj. And not just Jajavar Maharaj and Krishnadas Babji Maharaj. And there are more than enough already. But so many other very dignified followers of Srila Saraswati Thakur, God brothers of Guru Maharaj, to saw him in that position, and hence the relationship of them with Srila Guru Maharaj. So it is we can say it's the temple of the heart of Srila Govinda Maharaj in Hapaniya. And I was just, as you've been describing how it's manifested. And really, I have to say, I have to point it out, Maharaj, you like it or not, but I have to. Out of anyone who is more or less present right now, you're pretty much the only one who witnessed that development and expansion of the mat from the moment of you joining, which is quite some time ago. I'm not implying your age, but just referring to the flow of time. So it's very important to remember all these details. And I hope one day it will be somehow recorded, not just scattered here and there, but recorded in a more systematic way. I remember how one enthusiastic Prabhupada disciple was compiling a book dedicated to Srila Prabhupada, basically about his pastimes. And he was digging into the history, and then he would sometime write to Srila Govinda Maharaj to run it by him, is that correct or not? And then I remember I witnessed a few times when Jamuna Priya read the mails to Srila Govinda Maharaj, and that just happened there. And Govinda Maharaj was quite surprised. He said, I don't know, he just talked to me. He said, Prabhu, I don't know, where are they getting this information? It has nothing to do with reality. It's so far away from reality that I'm at loss of words. I don't know what to say. Will they follow what I say? Because it's completely the opposite direction of what they're doing. And I was there, he said. I was there, Prabhu. I know it. So it's very important that we can have it recorded. The history of the mat. We can say it's a contemporary history. Maharaj may not be present there prior to that, but there's lots of things happen during your presence, Maharaj. So we have to somehow get it out of you. And you said, you already explained and told so many things, but have to be in a more systematic way. So what I was thinking about, Srila Govinda Maharaj, he developed Hapaniya, a temple, a ladies' ashram, prasadam hall, all the facilities. And yet you were saying, and it is true, it was pretty much used once a year for the big gathering. Once a year, you may say. How significant is that? And you can consider, from the external point of view, not at all. Why bother building the facilities for just one day? And like you said, devotees would barely stay there overnight. Someone stayed overnight. I never stayed overnight. We'll just come, participate in the festival, and then we will leave and go back to Navadvip. But in the same time, considering what is this place, how dear it is to Srila Govinda Maharaj, that one day have the universal significance, not Hapaniya scale significance, not West Bengal, not India. It's not even a planet Earth. It's universal significance and more than that. It's beyond our understanding. And that is actually very inspiring. Just for one day of good service, and Govinda Maharaj is doing all of that. And yes, Maharaj, I mean, you just brought all the wonderful memories of Hapaniya Festival, but I do remember how busy it was and how it was impossible to hear what Govinda Maharaj was saying, actually. A lot of a lot of things were going on, but still everybody was very content, very happy, very inspired just to be in that atmosphere and bathe in the aura of Srila Govinda Maharaj, because he was there in a very special mood. I kind of remember that. It was very always a family-like in general, but that was a special kind of feeling. And something else I was thinking of. Oh, we started from a talk about the weathers in Italy, weather in Japan. That also brought some memories about Srila Govinda Maharaj, about the pastime that happened when he was participating in a Vaishnava gathering. I forgot where it was exactly. Perhaps in Calcutta, he was sent by Srila Guru Maharaj. Maybe some other place, maybe Vrindavan. If you remember, you correct me, Maharaj. And that day, in the morning, there was supposed to be a talk by Srila Bhakti Shranga Goswami Maharaj. So he was going to give a speech. And Srila Govinda Maharaj, a young person at that time, young Brahmachari, perhaps, Gauranga Brahmachari, he was talking to a secretary of Srila Bhakti Shranga Goswami Maharaj. They're just chatting before Maharaj started his talk. And then Srila Govinda Maharaj, young Srila Govinda Maharaj, said, well, do you know the shloka he's going to open his speech with? And the secretary said, how do I know? It's impossible to know. It can be absolutely anything. Govinda Maharaj said, no. He will open his speech with a very particular verse. I know already. I know that verse already. I observed the environment and I convinced this is what's going to happen. And that secretary was in quite disbelief. And he said, well, if you know that, then let's see if that is right. You tell the verse now, and then we will see if my Guru Maharaj will start his talk with this verse. And then Srila Govinda Maharaj recited the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Tavachyuta kathalapa karna piyu shavarjitak taddinam durdinam manye megachanam tadurdinam. And the verse describes, normally we judge weather by whether it is cloudy, rainy, windy or not. But Vaishnavas, they judge the weather of the day by how much, or if they got a chance to hear about Krishna, his glories, his pastimes, or talk about Krishna. And if they do, it's perfect weather today. So he quoted that verse. And then, of course, Srila Bhakti Shranga Goswami Maharaj, when he started talking, he started from that Tada Chutala. And the secretary was so shocked. He said, how is that possible that you would know that? He was very much impressed by Srila Govinda Maharaj. And that was, I heard, that was Srila Guru Maharaj's strategy sometime. He would send him as a representative. And then some of his god brothers will observe his age and they will be not very much satisfied, thinking, oh, who is this young person here? What can he say? And then when Srila Govinda Maharaj will start talking, or if there is some dilemma, some explanation needed, he would present such a perfect answers to that everyone was absolutely astonished. And the prestige of Srila Guru Maharaj grew even more in the circles of his god brothers. It was already high, but it's expanded with the efforts of Srila Govinda Maharaj.
And even after Srila Gurudev came to Guru Maharaj, within 1 year or 1 year later, Gurudev is saying, Guru Maharaj sent me back to Nadangat, the village from which I had come. And the people there couldn't believe that this was that same, well, now Gorendu Brahmachari, that same teenager who'd been the assistant of the doctor. And said, oh, such a transformation. And there he's giving Harikatha. That's 1 year after his joining. It wasn't that after 30 years or something. It was like straight away, Gurudev is empowered by Guru Maharaj. And that's what Gurudev said, because he was challenged on different occasions. And he said, even before he knew the answer, he said, well, I know, now I'm a disciple of Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj must have given something here. And for instance, again with Bhakti Goswami Maharaj, who was very dear, by the way, to Guru Maharaj and to Srila Gurudev, or rather Srila Gurudev was very dear to Bhakti Goswami Maharaj too. But in Vrindavan, there was a marble inscription of a verse composed by Guru Maharaj saying when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was at that very place of Imlitala in Vrindavan. And Bhakti Goswami Maharaj and other stalwarts, they are trying to understand the shloka, and they're kind of arguing with each other. No, it means this. No, it's not clear. Then they said to Gaurendu Brahmachari, so you say you know what's there? I said, yes, I must be able to make it clear. I am a disciple of Guru Maharaj, what he's given, it must be there. So he then explained that verse. He just said, thinking of Guru Maharaj. I didn't know, but I think of Guru Maharaj, then I think must be something there. And so by that faith in Guru Maharaj, he was able to give it the perfect understanding of that Sanskrit verse, which shows Gurudev from a very beginning of his connection, eternally connected with Guru Maharaj. Now, in the same breath, I don't want to mention something else, so I'll take another breath, because yesterday we were reading, and we have been reading for several days, because it's quite a long description, about Jagai and Madai being delivered. So this is a different breath. It's not about Gurudev. But I am reminded that right there, in one day, Jagai and Madai were changed from being great rogues to Mahabhagavatas, that very word is used, to great saintly persons in one day. I mean, not even 24 hours, just in a day this took place. And to make sure that everybody understood this, Mahaprabhu gave instruction to all the devotees, describing their present qualities. And you must forget all their past activities. Now this is their present qualities, and describe that very fully. And it didn't take them 20 years of practicing, sitting cross-legged and doing this, that, and the other. But by the mercy of Mahaprabhu, by the way, who credited the mercy to Nityananda Prabhu. Mahaprabhu didn't say it's my mercy. He said, oh, this is the grace of Nityananda. I was going to chop off your heads with the Sudarshan chakra. So we get instructions from every Leela. But it was just this point about once somebody is properly connected, then they're eternally connected. And this is Gurudev to Guru Maharaj. And with a different breath, there we have Jagai and Madai to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then the description of Jagai and Madai's humility and their service, everything, is just very wonderful. And Mahaprabhu is saying, anyone who criticizes them, they will be punished. And, such bad future. I mean, emphasizing that really Jagai and Madai, this isn't a formality, a change of dress. This is a change of heart. And the heart has been changed to a devotee, and the devotee's past is never taken into consideration. But Gurudev, this is not a parallel, but only this principle of, quickly things can happen. So one day, Srila Gurudev, he's showing himself as a good naughty boy, not a bad naughty boy, because Gurudev says of himself, I was a naughty boy. And he tells some stories of his young days. And he was an energetic boy. This we can clearly understand. And he liked to play football, and he was helpful to everybody, and all, I mean, wonderful qualities. But when he came to Guru Maharaj, then instantly there he is with Srila Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj sending him to represent himself, including to where Gorendu Brahmachari had come from, that village of Nadangat. And so actually, when we go to Bamonpara, which is not actually very far away from Hapaniya, today is a Hapaniya festival we're thinking of, but when we go to Bamonpara, then on the way by road, then we go near Nadangat. And for the last few years of Srila Gurudev's manifest pastimes, we used to go to Nadangat and have a festival there, and means on the way. So we'd have Harikatha, Kirtan, and actually breakfast prasadam, and that would be arranged from the temple and with a little help from the residents there too. And so Nadangat, Gurudev, everybody loved him in Nadangat, and they also couldn't believe he'd gone off and become a devotee overnight. Overnight, he went to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat with a one-way ticket. Hare
It resembles
Krishna.
Mahaprabhu Maharaj. When Mahaprabhu went to,
Gaya.
what's the place he went?
When he went to Gaya and then came back.
Gaya, yes.
Yeah.
And then he met Ishwarapur, and then he came back a changed person.
And Mahaprabhu was also a naughty good boy. Very naughty, but very good boy before being a devotee. Yes, that's true.
And so naughty that Gadadhar Pandit, and surprisingly, it is described in Chaitanya Bhagavata, everyone felt so much attraction to him. But at the same time, he was so naughty. So they had this double feeling. Like sometime when he walks with his disciples on the street, Gadadhar Pandit will turn around and try to hide somewhere because Mahaprabhu will challenge him, and they will be doing some war jugglery or something like that. So Gadadhar Pandit was very timid, very humble. So that kind of nature, yes, naughty nature. And then coming back from his pilgrimage, and literally a reborn person.
And you see, even his mother kind of lamented. This is quite common in this world too. Somebody goes to the temple and then they actually get washed. Their brains do become washed of all the filthy things, so they can see clearly, oh, there is a goal of life. There is a way to go. That is the purpose of my life. I shall do that. So in this world also, the parents can lament a little when their children do take fully to Krishna conscious. In a way, it's natural. But Mother Sachi, she did not want to lose her son to be a sannyasi. But it happened. The inevitable happened. And she could feel it from earlier time.
It was hidden by Nilambar Chakravarti. He could see, but he did not tell at that time.
That's the astrologer who calculated the chart for Mahaprabhu, which we just sang and read about, by the way, all of us in the verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita sung on Gaura Purnima Day.
Maharaj, could you please clarify the difference or not difference about Bamunpar and Nadangat? Which is the birthplace, or why is Nadangat is so significant? I missed it.
Okay, so we're two different things. Hapaniya is the birthplace, the appearance place of Srila Guru Maharaj, means Srila Sridhar Maharaj. And so this is one place, and when you go by road, you go to a you cross the railway line. This is a Google instruction. You cross the railway line in Navadip and turn right. Then you're going to go in the direction of Hapaniya. But Bamunpara is Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj's birthplace. When you cross the railway line in Navadip and come to the T junction, you turn left. And then it's a different direction, but you're not actually going to go so far between Hapaniya and Bamunpara, but by road you've got to go around. And but Nadangat is where Gurudev, Govinda Maharaj, was serving as an assistant to a doctor, and just before his coming to Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. So Nadangat is Gurudev's pastime place as a youth, just before joining to Guru Maharaj at the temple. And Bamunpara is Gurudev's birthplace, his appearance place. And so this is the relationship. And so in Nadangat is where Gurudev was working as an assistant to a doctor as a teenager. And he talks so beautifully about Nadangat and what happy days those were before he joined the temple. And how everybody loved him, playing football and everything. And then came to the temple, and when Guru Maharaj, very early after Gurudev joined, within several days, a week or so, Guru Maharaj saying, "Oh, this boy, if he will follow me, then he can be my next successor." Something like this, he'd said very early on. And then the maybe not all the other residents, but some of the residents of the mat became very envious and gave Gurudev a hard time. But Gurudev said, before I joined the temple, my life was very free and easy. But those brahmacharis, they were very mean to me. So, the world goes on with personalities. But the trees were not mean to Gurudev, and Guru Maharaj was not mean to Gurudev. Guru Maharaj giving Gurudev so much affection.
Remember what he commented about the brahmacharis?
Well, which comment? Can we repeat it?
Well, basically saying that the brahmacharis actually have a lot of good qualities, but one thing they're lacking.
Oh, yeah. This is a repeatable quality. Yes. Okay. In general, so this was about brahmacharis in general, not like these brahmacharis as such that we were referring to. Yeah, the brahmacharis, so many qualities, but one thing is lacking. They don't have a heart. Because in family life, their heart is very prominent, of course. Hare Krishna. But then we look at the pure devotees and look at Gurudev. I mean, look at everybody, how big a heart they have. Just reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, how big a heart does Krishna Das Kaviraj have? Vrindavan Das Thakur's heart, read Chaitanya Bhagavat, Gurudev's heart, Guru Maharaj's heart. You could say they are sannyasis, Guru Maharaj sannyasi, Gurudev sannyasi, hard-hearted, but absolutely not, absolutely soft-hearted. Feeling others' pain as their own and feeling joy of others' success and others' glories, to feeling that as their own, sharing the good, but sharing the bad and wanting to remedy the bad so that suffering doesn't come. But yes. Hare Krishna, chat box is busy. Or save this, save a rupa. Yakincha Trena Gulma. I'm not very good. This.
It doesn't taste well.
No. So he told us, Srila Guru Maharaj told to the devotees, well, told to us, Gurudev is saying, everything here is transcendental. So this is when Guru Maharaj went to Hapaniya for the first time in many, many years, since joining to Srila Saraswati Thakur, etc. I mean, for many years he'd not been back, and then by Gurudev's prayer, helped by the stalwart godbrothers of Guru Maharaj, they drew Guru Maharaj to once come back to his appearance place. And then Gurudev saying, Guru Maharaj told us, everything here is transcendental and very auspicious. If you can see in this way, you will be benefited. You will retrieve your transcendental life. And also you will attain the service of Srimati Radharani. In this way, Guru Maharaj gave his blessings to us here on that day. And we always remember that. I have tried to speak a little of the glories of Guru Maharaj for his satisfaction. I know that if I can see the meaning of his sloka, my prayer must reach its destination very easily. And then, I don't know if this is this exactly following on the next quote, or is it a separate quote?
Yes, it's a separate.
Okay, it's then a separate quote. I'll read it. It's quite short. So Gurudev is saying, I offer my obeisances to my respected god brothers and sisters. Is this Gurudev or Guru Maharaj speaking? Oh, yes. Yes, so it's Gurudev speaking on that time. I offer my obeisances to my respected god brothers, god sisters, and the villagers of Sri Hapaniya. Today we have very happily come to Sripat Hapaniya Dham. Our destination is Goloka, even if we may not know where Goloka is. However, we must know that the abode of Goloka has personally become manifest in this world as the abode of the Divine Master, the residence of the devotees, and the temple where the deities are worshipped. Today, whether we can perceive it or not, we have arrived in this holy place, which is non-different from Goloka Dham. Hare Krishna. Actually, that in itself, that sums up Hapaniya. And by the way, Paramananda was mentioning about, someone should write something about Hapaniya and these places, what we've seen. But yesterday itself, Vrindavan Das Thakur was describing something of the associates who were with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and who were bathing in the Ganges and playing water sports, and Nityananda and Advaita Acharya playing very forcefully in competition in the Ganges, all sorts of things. And there Vrindavan Das Thakur names several devotees. And then he says, but how many can I list? In future, and then he mentions Dvaipayan Veda Vyas. This is clarified in the purport by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He mentions specifically not a Veda Vyas, but Dvaipayan, the Veda Vyas of this age, who gave us the Vedas at the beginning of Kali Yuga, that he will in future name all those who were present. And we know that Madhvacharya went and he received spiritual instruction and inspiration, connection from Veda Vyas in the Himalayas. And this was, I think in the 1300s or something, or was it the 800s? Anyway, not very long ago in one sense. Then, it means after the birth of Jesus, so in the AD era, he went and Madhvacharya went to Veda Vyas. Although we cannot see him, it is told he is still living. And so this way, in the future, there will be some wonderful revelations from the purest source. And so we will not see that. Well, I doubt. But in our lifetime, we've seen the flowing Vedas from Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada. And this is recorded, both in sound and in video and in the words carefully produced in the books. So lots
Maharaj,
of...
I think the future is now, and we do have a Vedavyas with us.
Well,
Don't trust the future, however promising.
Well, the Veda Vyasas that we have are Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada. Look what has come from them.
I'm talking about the Vedavyas of their Leela, Maharaj.
Okay,
It's a
well,
position.
you may have to wait for the manifestation of Vyasadev. Anyhow, we appreciate the sentiment. But what is Hapaniya? This, you see that last excerpt that Sevarupa gave from Affectionate Guidance. There we have it in a nutshell. So let our day continue from this point, because the day is already started here, and you can't hear because Zoom closes its ears to Kirtan, but already they are singing morning arati in the temple. If I do this, maybe you can hear. Now you'll have bad sound, but you maybe can hear the kirtan. All right. So, dear devotees, today is the happy day of the festival, the traditional festival in Hapaniya at this time of year. And may we join there by heart through Gurudev's, through the telescope of Srila Gurudev, that we may be able to see that holy Dham by heart. So let us also try to make a little extra offering, do something extra for Guru Maharaj today, for Gurudev today, and may our life be successful in remembrance of these holy places, whether we know it or not. Then such places exist on this earth, and we may have that connection through our seva, through faith. Faith goes a long way. Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Santa Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Raksak Sridhar Dev-Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki Jai. Sripat Hapaniya Dham ki Jai. And the deities there, Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Gopinath Ju ki Jai. And so all of you on Facebook, here on Zoom, and in the recorded version, then my obeisances to you and my jais to you all. You are all very special, and we appreciate your association. Too much appreciate your association. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindubhya evacha, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo, namo namaha.
Jai Srila BR Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. All right, I have some duties, and one duty is to put that something on the web about Hapaniya just now. I better do that. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Dandavat, Dandavat, Dandavat. Ami Ashchi.